Last but not least is our 2016 Vintners Reserve. Let's start off with the fundamentals of this wine. It's a red blend, and it's comprised of 55% Petit Verdot, 27% Cab Franc, and 18% Merlot. Putting together this blend every year is one of my favorite blending trials because, as the name Vintners Reserve, I basically get to go through the cellar and choose my favorite barrels of the vintage. So I reserve those barrels for this blend. When I'm fermenting these wines, I have a pretty good idea of which ones are going to be my favorite, but it even goes back to the vineyard. I can see the balance on the vine of fruit to canopy. I can see color development come in early, and of course I can taste. Some of the vineyards just taste insanely good. As you know, here in Virginia, we have quite a bit of vintage variation. One year might be hot and dry, the next might be slightly cooler, followed by a wet vintage. And each one of these grapes does better in different conditions. For example, Merlot loves a hot, dry vintage, whereas Cabernet Franc actually flourishes more in a cooler vintage. So when I'm putting this blend together, I have no preconceived notions of what the percentages are going to be. My job here is just to show and to highlight the stars of the vintage. So now let's get to the wine. This wine is a deep ruby in color. It has delicate aromatics of violet blackberry and a hint of blueberry in the finish. When you smell it, you get some nice oak influence, but not overpowering by any means. And what the oak is bringing to the wine is a hint of vanilla, some spiciness, some cedar, and some toastiness. This wine has spent 18 months in barrel, so it's an important complement of what we've done, but I think with 2 years of barrel aging, those oak flavors have really blended well into the balance of the wine. As far as food pairings go, it's fairly obvious because it's a full-bodied red that it goes really well with rich dishes like osso buco or grilled meats or a heavy pasta dish. But if you're looking for something for today, our roast beef sandwich or our charcuterie is a definite win.